if I could give any advice to anybody who is considering or thinking about locking their hair, have I considered redoing my locks? Would I change anything about my locks? I can't keep doing this to my hair. I'm over it.
I go where I want, good. Yeah. I go where I want, good. Yeah. I go where I want, good.
Hey, hello, how are you? Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to not long awaited, but like, you know, a video I ain't did in a while, which is a lock video. By the title, you already know what it is. Today is a special day, March the 14th. I'm recording it on this day. This video is just dedicated to the celebration of my 1-year lockversary. I'm gonna be honest, like I initially was like, what am I gonna do for my 1-year lockversary? Am I gonna make a video just retwisting my hair, length check and things like that? But I'm at this stage where I want to try and thicken up and make my locks a lot thicker. So I'm currently trying to go as long as I can possibly go without a retwist to test it out and see if that in fact is gonna help me grow thicker and stronger locks. So no fresh retwist. I think my last retwist was like the 30th of January. So we're going on about a month and a half since my last retwist. I like this look. I woke up today, I went for a run, hopped in the shower. I did wash my hair and it's just air drying right now. You know, got my coconut oil in. This is just me and this is the perfect way that I like my hair. So I'm gonna give y'all some views of what my hair looks like at the 1-year mark. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my journey, you know, the different styles that I've had, my relationship with my hair, as well as give y'all some pictures and progress of where I began on March the 14th of 2020. We don't want to talk about 2020. I started my lock journey at the beginning of Rona, okay? So these are pandemic proof. Today, let me just say that I am just very thankful. I'm very thankful. I'm very proud, just proud. Proud. I'm very, very happy with the direction that my locks are going in. And I'm just thankful in this way because me growing up where I'm from, the way I viewed locks, and I can't speak for those around me, but they were looked at as just a masculine thing, you know? I saw more men with locks. My brother had locks. My mom's Caribbean friend had locks. And I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. I don't remember seeing any girls with locks, but I did see women with them, but they had more masculine features as far as I could see, right? So locks being a beautiful, self-empowering, self-accepting, self-loving thing just it didn't resonate with me in that way. So again, going back to thankful, to me, my locks are just so much more than a hairstyle. You know, it is now a part of me, and it's a part of me that I like fully accept and am growing to love more and more as they naturally become what they're going to be. Sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder because she's looking good today. Anywho, a few FAQs that I have gotten that I'm gonna answer in this video. What made you lock your hair? Now, I'm gonna be honest, I can't sit up here and say I've always wanted locks. I've always admired locks. Like, I don't have a very long origin story of why I decided to lock my hair. What I will say is once I'm intrigued by something, it's almost like I have to study it to a point of understanding to be able to get past it, if that makes sense. So if I could take it back to a moment that I remember, or that kind of like turned on the lights of locks being like a possibility for me, it would definitely be my Iceland trip in 2019. My best friend's been locked for over 2 years, and the moment she told me that she was locking her hair, I was here for it. Team natural, like I was happy for her. But it wasn't until I like saw them in the flesh that I was just like, wow, your hair is beautiful. I think I did that weird thing with her, like, cause I don't live in the same state as my best friends, and you know, when we see each other, it hasn't been for a while. So I remember seeing her and looking at her hair for the first time, and I was like, oh my God, your hair is just so, I'm like, I don't know where to look, but I just remember like being in awe, you know. And I think she was probably, I definitely don't think she was even a year at that point, but her hair had like, you know, started to do a little budding, and I was just looking at her hair and I was just like, this is really beautiful. And I had seen like, you know, locked women on YouTube and Instagram, but it wasn't content that I was like engulfing myself into, right? So I'd see it and I'd be like, oh, that looks dope, but just didn't give it any thought. But it wasn't until I saw hers that I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. And that kind of turned, yep, I think that that's what turned on my lock research because that's when I began to pull up videos of, you know, locks, the different types of locks, the different sizes, the meanings behind locks. And that's when I began my respect, admiration, and just, I want to say obsession because that's a little much, but my appreciation for locks. What you see on the surface, you know, it's my natural hair. My hair is locked. But when I started to really dive in and learn about the energies that our hairs keep, learn about the stigmas that come with locks, the meanings behind locks, how hair even locks, the different ways that we can lock our hair, it just took me. It took me in the best way because my hair wasn't damaged. I had been natural 10, 11 years. Like, look at me. I'm a natural girl. I've always just prided myself on focusing on loving what this is before all of the additions. Nothing wrong with all, you know, the makeup and the nails and the this and the that. I partake from time to time, but ultimately I've just always been focused on loving self as self is. The rest is just additions. Anywho, this video might be long. And as far as like my hair goes, I've had a lot of different styles. As a kid, I had naturally curly hair, but like I said, I was born in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. That's when perms was popping off. Straight hair was just what you wanted. I can't even say like my mama permed my hair. She forced a perm on me or anything like that because my mom was like a hippie, you know what I'm saying? So she's always kind of promoted me loving this, whatever comes with it. I had to beg her for a perm as a kid, and that's where it just began. Like, you know, I grew up with the perm, you know, flat ironing my hair, high school, fresh wraps, you know what I'm saying? You know how you comb it around in a circle, put on your scarf, and when you wake up, it just fall down and you doing it. Ain't no, I mean, y'all know what I'm talking about. Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. That wrap, how I just fall down when that scarf come off. Only a perm was going to do that for me at that time, okay? But it really wasn't like I hate my hair, I need a perm. It was just the thing that we were doing, you know, at least for me, from my perspective. A perm was literally just a part of doing my hair, making it more manageable. I didn't feel like anything was wrong with it. Now, after high school, as I began to like, you know, work and be older, my wraps was fresh and it was looking cute and I was doing this and doing that. Perms was putting some work on my hair. So while it was looking good on the surface, my hair was just getting burnt out, getting thinner, breaking off, and the health of my hair wasn't anything that I was focused on at all. Just wasn't a priority. Let's be honest. My first step to like focusing on the health of my hair is when I got my hair cut. I got it cut in a short little style, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm cutting my hair, I'm going natural. I was still getting perms, but that was my way of kind of cutting all the thin parts out, not really addressing the real problem, you know what I'm saying? But I cut it. It felt very liberating. I didn't like shave my head off, but I'm gonna insert any videos or pictures that I can find. I'm gonna just go ahead and insert them in this video just to kind of bring y'all along the journey with me, y'all, because it's really a beautiful thing where I am today. It's really a beautiful thing. Got my hair cut. I think I went to like, was it Great Clips or something like that?
Really, nigga?
Look, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about that, look. But that's where I went to get my hair cut. They cut it off. It was short. It was cute. I was styling it, profiling it. And then that's when my hair began to grow back. Now my hair began to grow back, but because I was still permanent, it, because I was still burning it. Look, that rhymes. It just basically did the same thing. My hair was thin, it wasn't healthy, it wasn't flowing like it should. And then that's when my natural journey began. Like, that's when my mentality kind of began to mature and focus more on like things that matter, like the health of my hair, allowing my hair to be my hair, you know what I'm saying? And it shifted from, oh, I'd rather look like my hair is healthy to the world, right? Have to rely on relaxers and curling it and burning it and just killing it. I can't keep doing this to my hair. I'm over it. So I decided to go natural. When I decided to go natural, I didn't do the big chop. I just stopped getting perms. So started to grow out and started to grow out. And that was back when I used to wear extensions. So I would make like my own U-part wig. I would wear, look, I was wearing that Indian Remy because y'all know when that was hot. I don't know, you know, y'all doing other things now, okay? But when I was wearing my U-part wigs, my sew-ins, that Indian Remy was hitting. Don't act like it wasn't, okay? That's when I was wearing my long hair and I was, you know, doing all of this. Now, for anybody that is new, the pictures and videos that I'm gonna be showing, it might look like a different person because not only have I been on just like a hair journey, like I said, there's a million kind of journeys always going on over here. So you will notice that my weight is fluctuating in these pictures and videos as well. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother journey. I did want to mention it though because it's an obvious thing that somebody might have a question about. But it's me in every picture and every video that I share, by the way. But yeah, I'm going natural, you know, I'm rocking my sew-ins, I'm protecting my hair, and that was just kind of like my go-to, you know? But even that, for me, got old. And what I mean by that is like the long hair was pretty, the long hair was like beautiful, I loved it. But I just felt like everybody got this hair. Everybody just throwing long hair in their hair. Am I doing this because I love it, or am I doing this because it makes me feel like I'm a part of everything else that's going on? Am I doing this because I feel like this is what other people want to see? You know what I'm saying? I don't really know exactly how to put it, but I was over the long extension look. It was just, as weird as it sounds, basic to me. Not only that, I started to feel like it was like a partial mask as well, right? It wasn't me. It wasn't me, right? So it wasn't me. And I had got to a point where I would wear a sew-in and I would already have my U-part wig to the side ready to put back in after I take this one out. So it had become just like, felt like a cover-up. Let's say that. It felt like a cover-up. That's around the time that I actually moved to Florida. I had a little bit more growth on my natural side. So my hair was kind of like half natural, half relaxed. So I had that, you know, that thick growth part, and then it just got a little stringy and weird on the end. So that's when I was like, look, I'm cutting all this perm out of my hair. I'm going natural. And the moment I cut that off, I don't even know how to explain it. I was just like, this is me. And that was just like my introduction to rocking like my little fro. I was natural. That's when I really began to embrace my blackness, okay? Not that I never did before, because again, most of my hair previously was just something that I liked, something that I did unknowingly realizing that it was just kind of like suggested to me, not necessarily something that I really, really cared for. I hope I'm making sense. I'm making sense to the one that it should make sense to. Let's say that. But I was rocking my fros. My hair began to grow, you know, doing little twist outs. My hair began to grow a lot more. I kept braids. I love braids. Now, braids were my signature, y'all. I started doing my own braids, and then I started to do them longer and longer and longer. Like, I was known for my braids past my butt, okay? I even had gotten my braids down to my ankle. I miss my braids. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I missed anything in this journey, it is braids. Will I ever get braids again? I think I may at some point, maybe just try braids over my locks, but I don't want like that heaviness to like cause any breakage or damage in this stage. So I want my hair to be a lot more mature before I dive into that. But yeah, I see everybody rocking braids down to the ankle these days, but I was doing that so long ago, and people was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, why is this girl's hair so long? How does she go to the bathroom? Those were actual questions that people were asking me. So I had gotten to a point where I'd wear a twist out, but I live in Florida. The humidity is crazy. So, you know, I'll wash my hair, the tank. I dread it, by the way. I would dread the maintenance of natural hair. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Dreaded the maintenance of natural hair. Wash, condition, detangle, style. All of that is a full day process, okay? And for me to do that, living in Florida with all of this humidity, for it to last for just that long, I kept braids. I kept braids because I loved braids, but also because I was kind of avoiding dealing with my natural hair, but I was still natural. I'm like, I'm never going back to the creamy crack. That's not even like appealing to me at all. But if I'm constantly wearing braids, you know, I just didn't feel like I was loving my natural hair. You know what I'm saying? Not having like any type of real relationship with my hair. It was just like, okay, I'm natural. This is my hair. I have my times where I'm rocking her and she's out and she's beautiful and she's flourishing, but that only lasts so long. And then I pop my braids back in. But as much as I loved my braids, it was literally just a way not to deal with my hair. It got to the point where I was leaving my braids in hella long, look, touching them up, doing the edges, just so I'm like,
give me another week or two without having to deal with his head.
That's what it was though. Oh, let me say this as well. In the midst of like my braids and things like that, I did get faux locks. See, this stuff is coming up. It's not just one thing that made me want to get locks, but once that light was turned on, it just organically came to me. I got faux locks for the first time, y'all, and I got faux locks and I loved them. They looked so beautiful on me. Like, and getting them, I was nervous. Didn't know if I was gonna like them. That was me just taking a leap to try something new. And I had gotten faux locks after that several times. Like, that gave me kind of a look, because you know, faux locks aren't necessarily like locks. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, it's not gonna tell you, oh, this how I'm gonna look with locks, you know, because I've had them shorter, I've had them longer, but it definitely gave me more confidence in it. It gave me more confirmation that this might be for me. Not to mention that for faux locks, for my braids, I was paying anywhere from $200 to $300 if you include the hair that I'm purchasing and the style. Now for quality, I didn't mind paying it, but just think about that. That's not cheap. That was literally just a part of my budget because it was something that I felt like I didn't have to do, but to not deal with my hair, I had to do. So yeah, I kind of had to do it. So just after watching 1,000 videos, watching my best friend's locks beautifully flourish right before my eyes, and really honestly wanting a better connection with my hair, really wanting more self-confirmation that I don't need anything to cover up my hair to live life. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have the hindrance of, oh, I gotta do this to my hair. That I don't need to feel like I have to go through an entire process to try and manipulate my natural hair in a way that I'm comfortable wearing it. Not feeling like a slave to my hair, because in no way was I ever gonna like wake up and do nothing to my hair, like wake up and just walk out of the door. I needed to have either my braids, or I needed to have a fresh twist out, or I needed to have my staple bun at the top. Mind you, bun was beautiful, but that was also breaking off my hair, pulling my hair into that tight bun. It was just the things that were looking good still were not doing good to my natural hair. And while locks at the very beginning, you are in a way kind of manipulating those locks to form, because your hair naturally just kind of sprouts out as it does. Once your hair begins to lock and it begins to bud and it begins to form, you reach this point where your hair is just doing its thing. You know, it's not a I'm waking up to force my hair to go in this direction or to do this or to do that. It's flourishing, it's growing. If I want to get a retwist to, you know, make it look more manicured, I can do that. But what's growing from my scalp is just forming as it naturally does. because I took the time to research, gain more knowledge, and understand the process of locking your hair, the opinions and the thoughts that come with that, I was prepared and understanding that these are still looked at by a lot of people just immediately as masculine. But that's where I had to kind of stop and be like, well, would that be a reason for me not to lock my hair? Even though this is something that I genuinely have found to want to do, will the opinions of other people and what negatively may come from it stop me from doing it? And that's where it kind of took a turn into more of a challenge for myself. And that's where it kind of like turned on more of a self-love spiritual thing for me, because it's like, if you love yourself enough, that shouldn't even be a question. And the fact that that is a question, it is a concern for you, or if it's something that you're thinking about, that's something that you need to dig into. That's something that you need to understand more, something you need to address. I hope I'm not going too far above y'all heads with this, and I'm gonna dial it back because I'm not gonna like just go super deep into this. But my lock journey is also a self-love journey, not in the sense that I didn't love myself before I got locks, but I think I was loving myself in a way where I was still trying to be the norm of socially accepted, or the trend of what looks good, or what I know people will accept, versus going outside of anything that what people around me considered to be normal, beautiful, pretty. When I first got locks, like I said, it was the beginning of Rona, okay? I think I went into the office at work, because I work from home since everything started, but I think I went into work like the first day. And while, my friends, they were like, oh, okay, I see you, I did get some looks. And I had some people ask me, why would you do that to your beautiful hair? It already began for me. And I think that because of the state of the world the past year, I've kind of been not necessarily like shielded, but I haven't been like on the forefront of opinions, judgments, and things like that. So I can't really say that I've had like a whole lot of negativity thrown at me, because I really haven't, to be honest. The beginning stages, before it locked, I had some rough spots. I had some spots waking up, my hair looking like this, not knowing what to do with it on some days, and just having to go because it's got to do its thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that I kind of got the benefit of not getting as much negativity as I may have been gotten, but it also may be my personality, because when I'm out and I'm about, I'm not focused on what everybody is doing around me. My friends joke about this. Like, when a dude's trying to talk to me, or somebody's watching me, or somebody's saying something to me, they be like, girl, you just looking straight ahead. You don't even see these people, or you don't even see this person looking at you. And that's how I am. So that might be a mixture of it. I really don't care. I really don't care. But as far as I can see, or as far as I've noticed, I haven't gotten any of the public comments or negativity that I've noticed. But again, we ain't been going nowhere. And I've also been off of social media. Outside of YouTube, I haven't posted a selfie on social media since October of 2019. Off the grid. So I can't really speak too much into that. Another question I've got is, would I change anything about my locks? If I could change anything, I would just start with regular parts. Not necessarily box part, but just where you can naturally grab your parts and not get triangle parts. I wouldn't have gotten the triangles. One, because when I'm retwisting my hair, I have to think about parts a lot more, because I want to kind of find the original part that was there. Now right now, I don't care about having perfect triangle parts at all. I just wish that they were just regular to begin with, so I can just grab, twist, grab, twist, grab, twist, and not like grab part trying to get it as straight as it possibly can be. I will definitely say that. Have I considered redoing my locks because of that? I'll have those thoughts for a split second, but it's not that big of a problem to really just like start from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I don't think that will cause me to start over, but I would definitely have gotten a different pattern. For me, y'all already know I don't even love a fresh retwist. Like this right here, if I could have my hair this texture, this way all the time, I'm good. But this way, you can't even see my parts. So what is even the point of trying to be fancy, having triangle parts, when I don't even like when you can see my scalp? Just makes no sense. But hey, that's one thing that I've learned. So if you're looking to get locks, think about things like that. Do your research before you start, so you don't start to feel like you want to like start anything over. I don't want to start over, but you know, it came to my mind like, well, you could, but I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. Since I've been locked, you know, I've gone through the stages. When I first got them, I showed y'all the back of my hair. Y'all was looking matted, crazy, like, you really do have to be willing and understand that you're gonna go through, you know, some people don't like to say the ugly phases. I've never been the kind of person that just steps outside of the house without my hair being groomed to my liking. And that type of style for me is not groomed to my liking. So I'm gonna call it, look, the rough stage, okay? I went through the rough stage. First got them locked, they're looking beautiful, they're looking shiny, they're uniformed, I got the coils. I don't regret getting coils because they have been forming beautifully with coils. I went through the times where I'd wake up and they just going left and they going right, and at a certain length of your locks or a certain stage when you're really just having to let them lock up, you're essentially just having to have your hair matte. That's where the locking begins. So you really just got to leave it alone, let it do what it's do. It's not going to be about starting your locks and trying to make them look perfect. You see it out of place. If you see it looking rough, you just wrapping it, twisting it, because a part of your hair locking is allowing the naps to do what they do. So you got to get through that, but your hair will begin to flourish, I promise you. I remember being afraid to wash my hair because I felt like they was just all gonna come down. Now I just wash my hair, oil my hair, massage my scalp, and it just air dries. I literally did that today. Did nothing special to it, and I'm at this point where I'm not only just comfortable with what my hair looks like, but I actually love it. We went to Miami back in September of last year for my friend's birthday, and we went swimming, and I got in the water and I put my head in and I took my hair out and my locks were still formed. Like, I didn't have to think about what style I was gonna put my hair in when I washed my hair. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little things like that where it just gives me time back to me of worrying about what I'm gonna do to cover it up. Because with my locks, they just flow. They just flow with life as they progress, of course. Don't get started locks and think you finna hop in a pool and then go in a shower and wash your hair, okay? Pay attention. But I'm gonna give y'all a close look of my hair, of what it's looking like at a year. I'm gonna bring this video to a close because I know that I'm talking a lot. Y'all know I can do that. So let me see if I can give y'all a close up. Now my hair, while I did wash it, I mean, it may not be fully clean, if I'm being honest. I think I might end up having to get like an ACV rinse, because while my hair is clean, if you can see, I still have like some areas of buildup. When I wash my hair, right? I start at the scalp, you know, I massage my scalp and I get all of that. I always do a first wash that's just kind of like that first like lather step of washing my hair, because the first time that I wash my hair, I don't know if it's just me with locks, but it doesn't get like lathery and soapy. I think it's just the sweat and the build up and all of that that kind of needs to like lift a little bit. So I'll do that, I'll massage it and I'll rinse it out, and then I'll come back and wash it some more and do all of that. And while I do this and I try and get into my locks, you know, it really just, I'll be honest, I haven't really taken like the dedicated time to really like penetrate into the ones that have, I think, that are like that buildup. It also doesn't help that when my hair is wet, that buildup disappears. So I can't see it to actually get into it. So I don't know. Some of you that have been locked longer than me, how do you combat that? Should I get an ACV rinse? I think that I should. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to address that. If you saw, like, you know, my locks aren't perfect. My locks aren't perfect, but they're my locks and I love them. So let me give y'all a close up look of what my locks are looking like. Like I said, you can't see my parts. Ain't no parts, girl. But they're definitely budded. I have a few favorite locks. Here's one of them. Ignore the old henna on my hand. I just gotta let it fade, y'all. Here is one of my favorite. One thing I do love about my locks are I focused on trying to, like, you know, keep some of my ends curly. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but I actually like that look. Some are completely closed and I'm fine with that as well. The thing about my locks is you'll notice that, like, towards the bottoms, they're thicker, right? And they start to get kind of like skinnier toward the top, which is like another reason that I am going to try and like hold off on the retwist to just allow, you know, that thickness to grow in and, you know, have something more to hold on to on my next retwist. So I'll update y'all and tell y'all what I think about that. Here are the locks here. These are my babies, y'all. Let's get a side view. Let's get it from the back. Pause. Y'all know I'm not the best of showing the back of my hair, so Jesus, please, let me get this right. Here's the back. I know it's probably looking crazy back there. Here's the other side. Here it is if I look back. And I've been rocking it like this, but you know, sometimes I'll toss it to the side. Do one of those numbers. Sometimes I'll get some bangs, you know, rock the bun. The back isn't long enough to like naturally fit, so I gotta like tuck them and stuff, but you know, yeah. But yeah, I hope that was a good look. I don't know, y'all, I'm sorry. That is my hair at 1 year locked. What I'm excited about next is to really start to retain a length and just watch them grow and do their thing. But I'm super happy with my hair. I'm sure as the world opens up, or if I decide to get back on social media and my hair is on the forefront, you know, I'll have different experiences and have more thoughts and opinions on my experiences as a locked woman, because this is who I am and this is who I will be. Who knows, you know, what the future holds, but I have no regrets and I have no intentions on cutting my locks or combing out my locks. I am only more eager and excited to see what this journey continues to bring. You know, I'm gonna bring y'all along the process with me. For anybody watching this who is considering locking your hair, I had I was gonna say a person, but I had a kid in my comments. I couldn't really see their picture, so I don't know if it was a he or a she, but they said that they were 11 years old and they're about to lock their hair, and is there any advice that I would give to them? I didn't know exactly what to say because I'm like, whoa, young doing this. So, you know, I just see a kid online just looking up videos and getting inspiration and getting things like that. First and foremost, if you're watching this, I'm very proud of you for deciding to lock your hair. It sounded like it was your own decision and you're very young and you're making decisions on your own like that. Kudos to you. I'm no lock expert, but if I can give anybody advice, and I already, you know, wrote my own message to that comment, but you know, if I could give any advice to anybody who is considering or thinking about locking their hair, it's just to have your own reason for locking your hair. Even if your reason is just because I want to. You know, I'm not saying that locking your hair has to be this self-love spiritual journey, because it's not like that for everybody. Sometimes it's just not that deep for some people. But my advice to anybody looking to lock their hair is just have your why. Have your why, because we are in a time where locking your hair, I won't say it's acceptable now, you know what I'm saying, but I'm beginning to see it a lot more, and I'm loving to see it a lot more when I'm out and I'm about. I'm just seeing so much more of us either beginning our journey. Before I delve in and knew anything about locks, I just saw somebody with locks, didn't think anything of it. Now that I have a much bigger appreciation for locking your hair, I'll see somebody with locks down their back. I'll see somebody with full, beautiful locks. When I see it now, I have to say, like, your hair is beautiful. I love your hair. How long have you been locking your hair? You know, and sometimes when I meet an OG, they give me some tips. You know what I'm saying? But that's just another way for us to kind of like connect as well. It's like having a Jeep, right? If you have a Jeep, you know what I'm talking about. It's like having a Jeep. If you have a Jeep, you see another Jeep owner and y'all just kind of do that. You know what I'm saying? I get that vibe from a lot of people that I see with locks. Not everybody. It's not like that across the board. So don't just think you get locks and everybody gonna be cuckoos and people gonna be like, why are you looking at me? Like, what's your problem? I don't know you. Anyway, it's so easy for me to get off track. Have your reason for why you are locking your hair. Do your research. Check with yourself, make sure it's something that you want to do. Also know that it's not something that has to be completely permanent. So if that's your fear and you want to try it, know that you can try it and change your mind. I wouldn't recommend doing it for anybody else but yourself. That's what I'll say. But yeah, that is my video on my 1 year lockiversary. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope that I didn't ramble too much. If I did, I also don't care because this is my channel and that's what I do sometimes. But it don't be like purposely to annoy nobody. It just be because this is my content and I am me. Gonna bring this video to a close. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. When y'all do that, it helps the channel. Tell the YouTube that y'all enjoy the content and that lets me know that I need to make more of it. Or if you're stopping by for the first time, feel free to subscribe. I will have more lock videos on my channel, y'all. I just focus on sharing things that are gonna make you laugh, make you smile. You can learn something from it, you can gain something from it. And that's just all we are about over here. So feel free to join the family. You are more than welcome. Thank you for watching and I will see y'all in the next video.
Don't let nobody tell you that it's over.
I love you. It's my mama. Here it is if I look back. Wait, can y'all see?
I go where I want good. Yeah. I go where I want good. Yeah. I go where I want good.